Do you feel the church is going in a good direction or bad direction with everything that's going on in today? True, false, or I plead the fifth?
I want to say I plead the fifth, but I do want to expound on that
Okay, expound on that.
because I don't think it's true or false. I think that the church has always been the way it is now. I mean, because people are people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that because the world is evolving so fast. You know what I mean? Like they say the old school saints, can't do modern day church. The modern day church don't want to do old school saints. Then you got the black and white church thing that's going on, the gospel versus CCM music thing that's going on. Excuse me. Then you got the preachers that want to be famous. Then you have the preachers that all they want is money and things like that. It's all perspective.
Welcome back to the Pastor Mike Son podcast show, where we have real conversations about men's mental health. We talk about faith and the strength it takes to keep showing up. I'm your host, Terrence Clark, and today we're talking to someone whose story is a powerful example of resilience and faith under pressure. My guest today is Jeff Smith, a preacher's kid who grew up in the church, faced major health battles, beat cancer, received a kidney transplant, built a family, and now is facing another fight as his body begins to rejecting that same kidney. Through it all, Jeff stays grounded in faith, family, and purpose. Today, we're going to talk about how he's managed that mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So welcome again, my good friend, my brother, Jeff Smith. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Man, I'm doing good. Good to see you too, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Doing good. Yes,
Man, I know you're doing big things down in Virginia with your church, Ramp Church. So tell everybody, what's been going on with Jeff right now.
Nothing, man. I am just currently just living, bro. I'm working, I still have a 9 to 5, so I work at a State Farm office down here in Virginia, and I also serve at my church on the praise and worship team now. Alongside some amazing worship leaders, man, some of the best. And, I'm just living, bro, just trying to, stay afloat, for my family.
That's great. That's great, man. That's awesome. But there's one thing you forgot to mention. You said you have a 9 to 5, right? And
Yeah.
insurance. So out there, everybody, if you don't have life insurance, go see my man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm licensed in Virginia. I'm licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and Tennessee. So if you need life insurance, even auto or home or anything, health supplements, man, just hit me up.
Absolutely, absolutely. One more thing I did forget to mention is please go to our channel, subscribe, like, and share. We want to grow this channel as much as we can because we are focusing on men's mental health. All right.
Yeah.
We want men to be in a safe space so where they can talk about their feelings, talk about if they're not okay, and just, and just talk to someone. Have a support group. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump right into it. All right.
Yes, sir.
So early life and faith. Jeff, you grew up as a preacher's kid, right? And what was that experience like for you? And how did it shape your understanding of faith and strength early on?
Growing up as a preacher's kid, man, it was interesting. No, it was fun sometimes. It was an honor to just be a part of a family of preachers. Everybody in my family either preach or sing or play an instrument. So it was an honor to be a part of a family like that. And it was difficult sometimes because you were kind of like the blueprint for your church, you know what I mean? So you got preachers' kids, you have pastors' kids. So I'm both, So my dad was a pastor, so my dad always taught me that anything that I do, everybody else don't want to do. So, I had a phase where I was just kind of just doing anything, just trying to find myself. So I was dyeing my hair, I was dressing crazy, you know what I mean? And, sure enough, a few people followed that, So you definitely got to watch what you do, what you say. You're the example, you're the blueprint for the church, you know what I mean? So that it was difficult in those times, but outside of that, it was an honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did that have any? What did that do to your mental as a young kid? Like knowing that, man, I have the pressures where I almost can't mess up, and I gotta be perfect
Woo.
all the time.
Man, that was the hardest part. Like your conscience is always like, hey, don't do that because they'll see this. Don't do that. They'll go back and tell your dad this. Mentally, it was kind of stressful a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to find yourself in the midst of a big family. Big in numbers, yeah, but I mean, big in responsibility as well. Because pastors are responsible for people, man. They're shepherds, you know what I mean? So they're responsible for people. Having that weight just always on your shoulder, when you're getting dressed, when you're going out, the people you hang around, it was a weight. So mentally, it was kind of stressful. You know what I mean? You couldn't have the friends that you wanted to have. You couldn't do the things that you wanted to do. Couldn't say the things that you wanted to. And with social media, it was really hard because everybody's watching. You know what I mean? Everybody's watching what you say, what you do, how you feel about this, how you feel about that. You know what I mean? So, it mentally it was a little stressful. But
Absolutely.
I got through it.
And so, how much of that? Because I know you kind of went through a rebellion phase. How much did that rebellion phase play on your faith? Like, did your rebellion phase was like, man, I don't know if I want to be in this Christianity type of atmosphere because it's restricting me.
Yes. Now, I always wanted to be a Christian. I just didn't know what type of Christian I wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if I didn't know if I wanted to do it exactly how my dad told me to do it, or if I wanted to go out and, do it for myself, or if I don't know. I just didn't know. It really took. So I had a rebellious phase, and my rebellious phase wasn't when I left my dad's church. My rebellious phase was before I left my dad's church. I had a rebellious phase where I was just trying to find myself. And I think everybody goes through that, you know what I mean? Especially when you are, when you kind of feel like your life is already like kind of written out for you, you kind of trying to rewrite it for yourself, you know what I mean? As you should.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, I think my family always expected me to be like the next preacher in the family. And I didn't see that for myself.
All right.
So I kind of fought against it, you know what I mean? And, it took for me to actually go on a 2-month fast. I finally was like, look, I need to really, 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 really give my life to Christ. So I went on a 2-month fast. And I really felt the Lord actually like changing my life. You know what I mean? I started getting interested in the Word. And growing up in church, you just did church. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you know what I'm saying? But it actually really took for me to like actually get into His Word for myself and start studying God and Jesus for myself, not based off of what I've been told my entire life, but actually getting to know Him know Him for myself. Is when I really came into my own, and I kind of left the rebellious phase and started actually walking in my own purpose. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So great segue into my next question. So
yeah,
how do you feel like growing up in the church made it harder to show vulnerability or talk about mental health as a man? When you were growing up in the church, like, did it help you with knowing that the Word and what God is telling you how to go through things in life as a roadmap, or did you feel like, man, I can't? That people won't understand because of my walk?
I grew up in an apostolic church.
Gotcha.
Mental health in the apostolic church was like, go to the altar, get prayer, and be done with it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
They, depression, anxiety, and stuff was like kind of dirty words in the apostolic church growing up. You know what I mean? They were kind of like words that you didn't use, or something's wrong with you if you're dealing with depression, or you're not saved if you're dealing with depression. You know what I mean? And things like that. But like people were really going through those type of things, like when I was growing up in church, and they didn't know how to deal with it. Like me personally, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions growing up in church because you always had to put on, first of all. Like when you walked in, you walking in front of a church as a PK, or preacher or musician or a leader. I've been a leader in my dad's church since I was 16. You know what I mean? So like I couldn't really show the emotional side, like the days I would go home and cry because I felt like I didn't do good enough, or the times I felt like I wasn't talented enough to do what I was called to do in the church and things like that. Like I couldn't show those things because depression and anxiety and things like that, they were dirty words in the apostolic church. Like you couldn't say that. You know what I mean? It kind of, I don't want to say, well, yeah, it kind of make you feel weak. You know what I mean? You kind of was seen as like a weak person, or not spiritual. You know what I mean? If you went through things like that. I am now in my mid-30s, learning how to deal with the mental side of things, like depression. When I fell into a deep depression because of my illness and things like that. When I get anxiety because I'm down here with some people that are like really anointed, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen it like this all my life. You know what I mean? Like people that really, really are really, 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 really sold out and are really, really gifted in the area of praise and worship and music ministry. I get anxiety, bro. Like, and sometimes it takes to have to talk to an accountability partner, or like, just talk it out or pray. You know what I mean? Like, but actually dealing with it now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it took for me now, like my lifestyle now, to actually know, like, okay, it's okay to go through those stages. It's not okay to stay there. But
Right.
it's okay to, it's okay to go through those stages. Because I didn't believe that back then. You had to hide it back then. Or, you were weak back then if you went through these mental changes and things like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
important
it
that
was
you
really
said that.
difficult.
Hey, I'm glad you said that it's okay to go through things, but don't stay there. You know,
Don't stay there.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't stay there, because if you stay there, you might not be able to come back out of that. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I appreciate that, that you
Yeah.
told that and said that to the audience. Um,
Yeah.
let's pivot into the health journey.
Yeah.
Let's start from the
Yeah.
beginning of when you first noted that you start having health issues before the dialysis and before the other things that
Mhm.
start from where you've noticed the health
The changes.
changes.
Okay. So when I was 19, well, but let's go before then. So when I was maybe 15 or 16, I went to the doctors. I went to a pediatrician, and they told me that my blood pressure was just a little high, but nobody really paid attention to it because I was so young. When I was 19, I was traveling with a close friend of mine. He's an artist in the DMV area, and we were traveling like every weekend. And I was playing keys for him. And I remember one night after an engagement that he had, we had went to, I think, Denny's or IHOP or something.
Mhm.
And I wear slides, man. I don't like to really wear shoes all the time.
We
I
know.
always got a pair of slides. Yeah, I got a pair of slides in the car somewhere. So I went to go put my slides on, and when I got back to the car, we actually had two engagements that night. So we went to get something to eat. Then we had a late night engagement that night. So I went to go put my shoes back on, and I couldn't fit my foot in my shoe. My feet had swollen, and so um, that prompted me to go to the doctors that next week. And when I went to the doctors, they took my blood pressure on both my arms, both my legs, before they said anything to me. And then they started asking me questions like, "How's your vision? Do you have any headaches?" And I'm like, "No." They was like, "Okay, what I need you to do is go to the emergency room immediately." I'm like, "Okay, like everything okay?" They was like, "Your blood pressure is 222 over, I think, 118 or something like that." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay." So I went to the doctors. I went to the emergency room, and I ended up having to be admitted into the emergency room for a few days, just for them to, check me out and figure out what was going on with my blood pressure while I was so high. Um, so from 19 up until the age of 24, I dealt with high blood pressure, many doctor's appointments and things like that. And those doctor's appointments, they started, giving me notifications about my kidney health, and my kidney health was declining because of the blood pressure. The age of 24, I was home, and I had moved out my parents' house, so I was in my apartment, maybe 30 minutes away from where my parents live. And one of my good friends were there, and I was just really, really, really tired. One of my friends left, and I went to sleep. And when I woke up, maybe like an hour or two after I went to sleep, and I was feeling a little congested. So I thought, so I made some tea, and I was like, I'm gonna just lay back down. I lay back down and woke back up, and this time I was a little short of breath. So I was like, okay, let me just go ride to my best friend Tyree. He lived maybe like 10 minutes away from me. So I said, let me get in the car, let me drive to Tyree's house. So there was two two stairways to get out of my apartment complex into the parking lot. And by the time I got to the top of the second stairway, um, I was out of breath. I couldn't even get in the car. So I called my dad, and I said, Dad, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He lived, like, mind you, he lived 30 minutes away from where I was living. He got there maybe like 18 minutes.
There's a
So he got there fast. He got that fast. And I honor my dad today. His name is Bishop Jeffrey Smith, Greater Purpose Apostolic Church. I honor him. But he came and got me, took me to the hospital. Um, when we got there, the doctor, nephrologist that I've been seeing, that came in, he said, man, your kidneys are gone. He said, you have to start dialysis immediately. So
wow.
he was like, man, I don't want to do dialysis. They was like, I mean, you don't have any other choice. So we made them hold off till the next day. So the next day, I was in a room, and my dad, he said, hey man, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to the church, and I'm gonna go pray. I'm like, okay. And he left. As soon as he left, I started making a few phone calls to a few people. And my breathing started getting heavy again, like really, really, really heavy, even worse before, worse than the night before. So the doctors came in, and something's wrong when the nurses look a little nervous. So the nurses and the doctors, they were just a little nervous. So they brought this big machine in that blew air, into your mouth, and to try to get air into your lungs. They put that mask on. It just wasn't working. They called my dad, and I remember my dad walking back into the room. And when I saw him walking back into the room, I kind of lost consciousness. Um, when I regained consciousness, I was on a ventilator. I had a tube down my throat, and had a tube coming out my neck and things like that. I'm like, wow. So I had a sheet of paper and a pen, so I wrote to my sister Jennifer. My sister Jen, she was there when I woke up. And I said, how long have I been out? She was like, since yesterday. And I'm like, oh, okay. So since then, long story short, I had started dialysis after that day, after they released me from the hospital. And I did dialysis for 6.5 years, until 2019. 2019, well, rewind back a little to 2018 when I was getting evaluated for a transplant. They found cancer on one of my kidneys, stage 4, and
So
they ended up
before
removing that kidney.
before we
Mhm.
jump there, how did you
Yeah.
process that? Like
Oh,
you went from the hospital, the doctor tell you, well, you got to go dialysis. The next thing you know,
yeah,
you passed out, and now you got tubes all
yeah.
in your body. How did you process that? Like what was what was your thought process?
Bruh, I was 24.
Right.
I was 24. I was like, what is going on? Like, first of all, I almost died. So that was stress. You know what I mean? I was afraid to go to sleep every night. because I felt like, am I gonna die in my sleep? You know, it was a lot on me, bro. I was really, really, really going through it mentally, and I couldn't express it. I didn't know how to express, what I was going through. I couldn't put into words how I was feeling or what I was going through. I was extremely grateful, you know what I mean, that I was just, to God that I was still alive. But I was going through it, bro. Being so young, seeing all my friends out here, enjoying life, healthy, you know what I mean? And I'm in the house sick, can't go out, can't eat what I want to eat, can't do the things physically that I want to do. I was spiraling, bro. I was spiraling and couldn't express it. You know what I mean? So when I came to church, when I came out, when people did see me, I was smiling. They was like, man, you don't look like what you've been through. I said, hey, bro, you just don't know.
Right.
You don't know what I go through when I go home. You know what I mean? Why? And to this day, and I'm kind of weaning off of it, but I would go to sleep with the TV on because I would have to kind of force myself to go to sleep. So I would have to watch TV until I fell asleep. You know what I mean? I couldn't sit in my bed or lay in my bed and just go to sleep. It was hard for me. So, yeah, bro, it was hard.
Yeah, and
it was tough.
So what kept you going in those moments when things felt hopeless?
Worship, bro. I found peace in worship, bro. I would just go to the church, any day, and I would just sit at the keyboard and I would just sing songs that I knew, and songs started meaning so much more after then. Songs that I've been singing all my life meant so much more, after I experienced that. Simple stuff for thine is the kingdom, and the power and the glory forever. Because he was in control of everything that I lived. You know what I mean? He was in control of the doctors. He was in control of, my blood pressure. He was in control of the state of my kidney health. He was in control of everything, which is why I'm still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got bad. It got really bad, but he didn't let it get so bad where I was, where I died. You know what I mean? So you can ask anybody, I couldn't sing that song without crying. You know what I mean? It just started, everything just, worship kind of shifted for me. You know what I mean? Before, worship was, a song. Oh yeah, I love God. I praise God. But it was so much more after that experience. I was more sensitive to the Spirit of God and the presence of God after that. Because I experienced Him. I experienced Him bringing me back to life. I experienced Him saving me. I experienced Him, not letting me break down so much where, people could see it.
Right.
I experienced Him so much where, I was still able to operate. I was still able to work. I was still able to lead worship. I was still able to play and do things that I did before that experience because of His grace and mercy. And I had no other choice but just to bow down and worship Him. You know what I mean? And just show gratitude for what He did for me.
So let's go back to when you found out you had cancer on that same kidney.
Yeah.
And I don't know, brother. I don't know how you stayed, cool, calm, and collected through that whole situation.
Bro, first of all, I went for a CAT scan and they said, all right, we need you to come into the office and talk to one of the doctors because we found a mass on one of the kidneys. Mind you, this kidney don't work, but it's there. We found a mass on your kidney. We was like, okay, all right. So we're gonna we're gonna remove the kidney, and we're gonna test the mass and you see if it was cancerous or not. I'm like, all right, cool. So we went back in, and they removed the kidney. I went back in for a post-op appointment with the doctor, and he just said it just easy, the mass was cancerous, stage 4. I'm glad we got it out in time before it spread.
Wow.
And I just sat there
wow. So they just
Cancer?
casually, just like that to you.
Yeah, casually, bro. Like, you know, and I didn't know what to say, bro. Like, I was shocked. I was speechless because the reality is, if I didn't get evaluated at that time, means I was a stage 4 cancerous mass, it could have spread
Yeah, quick. Yes,
quick.
yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It could have spread quick, and I could have died. And before I even got the transplant. So the Lord saved my life so many times, bro. I learned that sometimes I feel it, but in the last couple of years, we lost a lot of musicians and singers, bro.
Yes,
Like a lot of,
yes.
you know what I mean? And I kind of found myself having a little survivor's remorse, man. Just like, why me, God? You know, and I'm still unpacking that thing. Like, why me? Why are you keeping me here? And I know he has something in store for me. And I know my life and my testimony speaks to people. And I'm just, you know, day by day, I'm just living in what's in front of me. Just my testimony is in front of me. So I'm just living in that thing, man. Like, you know, people often ask me, you know, how you getting through this day by day being on dialysis? I'm like, I'm just living, man. Like, I'm just letting my life speak. I'm just letting my life speak strength and peace and, you know, faith to others. Because, bro, like, as much as I would want to transplant right now, today, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay because my family's okay. I'm okay because I know while I'm in this, you know, it's speaking to people. And while I'm still serving, while I'm still working, while I'm still taking care of my family, providing for my family, you know, speaking to somebody that's on the edge, bro. Like, somebody's out there and they're on the edge and ready to leap. And a testimony like mine can save them. You know what I mean? They can see God and see the light of Christ, like, through my testimonies. So yeah, bro, I think that's what keeps me. You know, to answer the question, that's what keeps me. You know what I mean?
So, when you wrote "See You Here," and by the way, it's available on all platforms.
Yeah.
When you wrote "See You Here," was that during before the kidney transplant, or was that after the kidney transplant?
That was before the kidney transplant. So we released that song in 2018. We wrote that song in 2015, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that's what inspiration of writing that song? Because that is a powerful song, man. A beautiful song as well as that too.
Thanks, bro. So me and my friends, you know, my friends Jannard,
my man Jannard.
Darius, yeah, Jannard Carter, Darius Hall, I believe Tania Jackson.
Shout out to Jannard, shout out to Darius. Shout out to
Yeah, man. Go follow them too, man. They are amazing musicians, singers, and songwriters. We were in my living room, which we did all the time. That was just an everyday thing for me. I had an open door policy at my home. So anybody could walk in, you know, and we could just start worshiping, start singing and things like that. So it was just that night. We were singing, Darius had his guitar, and we just started singing. I started singing, I want to see you here. I want to see you here. And I was like, bro, I think this can be a song. Like, this can be a song. So we just started building it. We're just building that song from there. It just came from me being in a low place, bro. I had these times where I'd be in a high place, on a mountaintop, they say, then I'd be in a valley, you know what I mean? And it was just like in the valley, you know, I felt a lot of strength from the people that surrounded me. In my mid-20s, I wasn't always around my family. I found family in, you know, my friend group. So Jannard, Darius, Tania, Sabrina, Jamaica, they kind of surrounded me. And they were my friend group. They were my family, and they are my family. And they kind of brought me out a lot of dark places. So one of those nights were probably one of those nights where I was just really low, and they showed up, you know, and they showed up, and I was just kind of speaking from out of my heart, like, Lord, I just want to see you in my life. I want to transplant. You know what I mean? I want to get health. I want to see you here. You know what I mean? Then it became like, I want to see you. I want to be in your presence. You know what I mean? Like, it's your presence that I want to see. Like, I'm not really interested in my name being in lights or big stages and things like that. I mean, they may come, but I'm really, really, really wanting to see your presence here on earth. I'm really wanting to see people, be saved, healed, and delivered. You know what I mean? And how could you use me to do that? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where that song came from, bro. Like, just me being in a low place, wanting to see God.
When you released that song, man, that song blessed me, bro. That song blessed me, and it blessed a whole lot of other people, especially at the release party you had at Rehoboth. Man,
yeah,
you brought so many people together that night.
Yeah,
that was a memorable night, man.
It was awesome, bro. It was an awesome night. Funny thing about that night, bro, we weren't going to do a release concert. We planned that release concert in 11 days. So it was crazy. It was crazy. I woke up one morning and I hit Jannard like, bro, I think I want to do a release concert. He was like, yeah, the single releases next Friday. I'm like, I know. And he was like, okay, whatever. I called Joe Pryor. I was like, bro, I want to do a release concert. Can you put together a band? Yep. He got on it. You know what I mean? It happened in 11 days, bro. That was nothing but God. I feel like God, and I always question, like, how do you hear God? I was asking, how do you hear God? Is it audible, or is it, a feeling? Like, you know what I mean? I really felt like I heard God, get up and play in this concert. You know what I mean? I can do the impossible. Like, who plans a release concert in 11 days? You know what I mean? We got a flyer out there. We did some rehearsals, and I didn't think nobody was going to show up. It was just too last minute. You know what I mean? We didn't have no advertisement or marketing, no radio. You know what I mean? All we had was a social media, post. And we packed the house out that night. And, people showed up, man. And I'm grateful, that people in my hometown would show up for me.
Yeah, heavy hitters that night too, man. Yeah, Jason was there.
Yeah, Pastor Jason Nelson was there. Kafir Rollerton was there. Steve McCoy.
Yeah.
Johanna Jones, Mandela.
And Johanna as well, too. I know they're doing big things over there.
Yeah. She just did a live recording, bro. Johanna Jones just did a live recording. Well, Johanna McCoy. Their son Sheldon produced the album.
Man, seeing him coming from a little baby to where he's at now, man.
Yeah, he's definitely growing musically, man. And,
by the way, man, we have to go on live too. So, live. If you have any questions, please put some questions in the chat, and we'll definitely get those questions over to Jeff as well too. So,
yeah, man, I would love to answer some questions from them.
Absolutely. So we're gonna pivot to "I Plead the Fifth." Okay. I told you I was going to ad-lib a little bit, so the questions you got on there may not be the questions I asked.
I got you.
So you either answer truth, false, or I plead the fifth.
Got you.
All right. So here's the first question. All right, with you being a musician, right, and we know how being a musician in the church, the ladies love the in the church.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. The question is before Jeff got married, before Jeff had a family.
Amen.
So
because I love my wife.
All right. So with you being a musician in church, did you have multiple girlfriends in the church? True, false?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Okay. Got you.
Okay.
All right. Was there ever a time through everything you were going through that life was too much for you? True, false, true.
Yeah.
All right. Since moving from Baltimore to Virginia, you still secretly think Baltimore has better food?
True. Most definitely true. Yeah.
Oh man, do you want to
Yes, sir.
expound on that one?
So, I mean, Virginia has really good food. We have really, I'm in Central Virginia, Lynchburg, small town, right? But it's growing. It's a growing city. Liberty University is here, you know. So you got people that come in, you know, college students, things like that. But like, it's growing. We just got a First Watch. And we have a place like, we have our favorite places to go, like this place called Milano's. We love Milano's. My wife loves Italian food. They just closed down one of our favorite places. Now, that's the only thing about Lynchburg that I've noticed in the last 5 years. We might have something really good, then they'll close it down. And we're like, why did they close it down? But it's good food here. It's good food here. But you have to eat before 10 o'clock. Like, you can't get nothing to eat after 10 o'clock. I mean, we only got like 2 7-Elevens. You might maybe go to 7-Eleven. We have Waffle House. We have like 5 of those. Yeah, you can eat Waffle House after 10 o'clock. But like, other than that, and we have this place called Texas Inn.
So
You know, it's like a hole in the wall.
No set.
Great food. No sub shops. No chicken box.
No chicken boxes.
No chicken box. No chicken box. No sub shops. Like, it's just, I mean, we have Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike.
You know.
Jersey Mike.
Yeah. You know, but there's no, hole in the wall like chicken box spots or nothing like that.
Yeah. Like I said, if you have any questions, thank you, chat, for the love. If you have any questions, please send the questions over to our guests so I can give those questions over to our guests as well. Thank y'all for the love though in the chat as well. All right, next question, and I'll plead the fifth. As a musician, have you ever transposed? True, false, or I plead the fifth?
True. Yes, I did. Until I got to Pastor Chris Church. But no, yeah. So when I was a teenager, I played drums, bass, and keys, and I wasn't solid on none of them. Like, I just wasn't. It took so my best friend Tyree Brown, phenomenal keyboard player, phenomenal producer.
Yep, shout out to Tyree.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So he actually produced my single "See You Here." He was the keyboard player at the church. You know what I mean? Like, he was the keyboard player. I wanted to play bass and drums and stuff like that. He played drums too. Phenomenal, you know? But I wasn't thinking about keys like that, you know, when he was there. So when he transitioned out of our church, he was 19 or 20. And I was 18, bro. You know, these cats nowadays, by the time they're 18, they playing like 40-year-old men. Like, they playing. You know what I mean? Like, I was 18 and couldn't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew a couple songs and stuff. But like, to hold down a whole service, like, I wasn't playing like that at 18, 19 years old. So I was transposing. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, I started trying to get jobs and stuff at churches and stuff like that. I was like, hold on. Let me fix this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Last, I'll plead the fifth question.
Yeah.
Do you feel the church is going in a good direction or bad direction with everything that's going on in today? True, false, or I plead the fifth?
I want to say I plead the fifth, but I do want to expound on that.
Okay, expound on that.
Because I don't think it's true or false. I think that the church has always been the way it is now. Because people are people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that because the world is evolving so fast, you know what I mean? Like, they say the old school saints, can't do modern day church. The modern day church don't want to do old school saints. Then you got the black and white church thing that's going on. The gospel versus CCM music thing that's going on. Excuse me. Then you got the preachers that want to be famous. Then you have the preachers that all they want is money and things like that. It's all perspective, bro. It's all perception. Like, I go to a church, bro, and I went to a church, Rehoboth, bro. Like, I didn't see a lot of the stuff that people talk about, in these two churches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a great example of, or even in my dad's church. You know what I mean? I had a great example of, righteousness, and walking, like Jesus did. Like being a follower of Christ. You know what I'm saying? I had a great example in my dad. I had a great example in Pastor Chris. I now have a great example in my pastor, my Bishop Esquire Younger, my pastor, Pastor Marvin, Pastor Westgate, my friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole different ball game down here, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We grown now. Like, we're not kids no more. Like, we living for Christ. You know what I'm saying? I think it all has to do with what people perceive about the church. Like, everybody had their own opinion about, politics. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with politics, bro. Like everybody had their own position. Some good things and some bad things about politics. And some good things, some bad things about church. No church is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, if you think, my pastor always said, if you think your church is perfect, you know what I mean? It started being imperfect when you walked in. You know what I mean? Like, hey, no church is perfect. You know what I mean? So, like, is the church going, in a bad, way right now? Like, it could be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? People gonna be people. Is it going in a good way right now? It could be. People gonna be people. You know what I mean? So,
good answer, man.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Now, thank you for playing I Plead the Fifth. Now let's.
Yeah, man, that was good.
Yeah. So let's talk about family love and fatherhood.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So you eventually found love, moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
Started a whole family.
Yeah.
How did that new chapter help your healing process?
Bro, my wife, Tiffany Smith, shout out to her. She is amazing, bro. Like, when I met her, first of all, my past relationships, I ain't even gonna go there. Like, I ain't even gonna go get there. I'm not gonna say I didn't have any good relationships. I had a really long on and off relationship with somebody. That was cool, Then I had a really, really bad relationship that I wasn't even in. It was weird for like 4 years.
You said
Then I had
you wasn't in?
It was weird, bro. It was a situationship, you know what I mean? But I was
situationship, okay.
I was stuck, you know what I mean? I was stuck, bro. And it was really bad. Then I had a relationship for about 8 to 10 months, I think. With somebody. She was really, really nice, bro. Like, she was good. This was right before I moved down here. But I think the only thing that wasn't on point was spiritually. You know what I mean? I knew I wanted to be somewhere spiritually. And I knew I need somebody that was either trying to get there or was there. You know what I mean? So when I moved down here, I didn't expect to, find somebody that fast. You know what I mean? I was serving with Ramp DMV before the launch and before it, was operating. And I was serving on the launch team, per se, the core team that was helping to, set up the launch for the church. And I was kind of serving in a musical capacity. So I wanted to have a meeting with the minister of music at the mother church, which was Rand Church International, where I am now. So I asked around, I said, who's the minister of music here? They was like, Tiffany. And I'm like, who's Tiffany? So I realized I met her a few months prior to that at her birthday party. I don't know how I ended up there, but I was there. So I was like, oh, okay, Tiffany. So I went to go meet with her. And she'll tell us the story a little different, but I can tell she was feeling me a little bit, you know what I mean, in the meeting. So we ended up talking and things like that. But, bro, long story short, it didn't take long for me to know that she was special, bro. You know what I mean? And even with my illnesses and things like that, I had got COVID when we first started dating. My kidney started kind of declining a little bit when we first started dating, and I didn't face her. You know what I mean? And she, most people don't want to deal with nobody that's sickly. You know what I'm saying? They rather just like, oh, we can be friends. You know what I mean? But she didn't. She saw past that, bro. And I matured a lot in that year, bro. Like spiritually, naturally, I matured a lot, and I needed to. Just because she had such a big gift, and she was so mature, in all aspects, bro. So I matured a lot. One lady at my church now, she was just like, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "All right, okay." She was like, I don't know Tiffany that well, but I see her, and she has a big gift. I want to make sure you're ready to cover her in this gift. I'm like, wow. I don't know if I was offended or if I was just like, okay, I need this. And eventually, I started listening, bro. I started praying. I was just like, Lord, you know what I mean? I want to make sure I am equipped to be the priest of my home. You know what I mean? So he started dealing with me, bro. Long story short, we got engaged in 2021 in January. We were married 2021 in November. 2022, we had our first daughter, Seven Marie Smith. 2023, we had our second daughter, Sydney Ann Smith. And then 24, we built our first home. 2025 ain't over yet. I'm trying to see what the big thing for 2025 is,
And you know what? Shout out to your wife, man. She's an awesome praise and worship leader.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, powerful singer. I mean,
Yeah.
Shout out, Tiffany. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
She did praise and worship a couple times at Rehoboth as well too, when you came to visit.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I didn't mean to call. I just want to give her a shout out real quick. She's awesome.
No, yeah, bro. She's awesome, bro. She is she challenges me.
And that's how I spoke.
At home, like, bro, I mean, I know a lot of artists and songwriters and things go through like writer's block, and then sometimes you get so overwhelmed with perfection, you know what I mean? Trying to perfect things like that you just don't do it. And that's how I've been for the last maybe 2 or 3 years. I was just like, I want to do this is on my heart to do. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Lord's put this on my heart, this, that. And I get so overwhelmed and anxiety, like, about doing it and doing it well, that sometimes I lack in doing it. My wife pushes me, I have a room to myself. That's my studio room. And she was like, you ain't been in your room all week. Stuff like that. I need a song by the end of this month. You know what I mean? Things like that. I'm like, okay. But this is what I asked for. You know what I mean? She's been all of that, bro. She's amazing, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's amazing.
So how does it feel being a dad, man, being a father? And it's not about you anymore. It's about them babies.
It is joy. It is. My girls are my pride and joy. My girls are my pride and joy. Bro, I didn't think I would ever get married and have kids, bro. Like, at the age of 24, I didn't see this for me. First of all, I didn't see me making it this long. Like, I didn't see me surviving this long. My girls are my pride and joy, bro. Like, they wake me up in the morning. They keep me up at night sometimes. All I want to do is do things for them. You know what I mean? Like, me doing things for them makes me happy.
Yeah.
Me feeding them makes me happy. Like, ooh, I'm getting them Chick-fil-A today. They love Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? Those type of things make me happy. So, like, they're my pride and joy, bro. Like, yeah. So, I don't know what else to say.
No, you good. So, as a husband and a father, how do you balance being strong for your family when being honest about your struggles?
Whoa. How do I balance that? I just do it, bro. Like, my wife like I said, she pushes me and challenges me, not only musically, but as a father and a husband. Um, she always stressed to me how, like, make sure you spend the time with the girls this time today. Make sure y'all just not watching TV. Make sure y'all do this and do that. And I'm like, all right, but I'm tired. I had dialysis last night and things like that. But like, you know, after a while, that's just an excuse, bro. You know what I mean? Like, after a while, like, you just gotta get up and do what you gotta do, man. So I just make sure, like, all right, let's sleep in for a little bit, but after we sleep in, let's get up and do something educational. Let's do something fun. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the balance. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I know some people, they have parents that are sick and they end up taking care of their parents, or they end up, it being all about their parents, and I don't want that to be me. You know what I mean? It's all about them until they become adult. You know what I mean? Even when they become adult, like, it's all about them. It's all about what I can do to be, the best parent and provider for them. Growing up, and I'm gonna say this, and I want you to hear my heart. Growing up, my parents did the best they could do for me. I had a great upbringing. I took some things from their parenthood, their parenting, and I use it today. Some stuff I left,
You know what? And
I left at home.
And that was a question I was going to ask. What are some things that you've unlearned as you've grown as an adult?
Yeah.
So that's okay. Yeah. So
I've learned as an adult and being a father now, I learned to apologize to my kids.
Absolutely.
I didn't growing up. You don't apologize to your kids growing up, like. But you don't apologize to your kids. You don't have no reason to apologize. I apologize to my kids when I'm wrong, because I could be wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? And they're young. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get used to it now. You know what I mean? So that it'd be easier for me later on in life when they really do make mistakes. I celebrate my kids. I celebrate everything. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I celebrate everything. When I was growing up, you didn't get celebrated for things that you were supposed to do. You only got celebrated for extracurricular. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get celebrated for getting A's and B's in class. You're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? I'm going to celebrate everything. You know what I mean? I'm going to celebrate the A, the B. You know what I mean? I'm going to celebrate, you tying your shoe for the first time. I'm going to celebrate you, being respectful. I'm going to celebrate you saying thank you and please and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to celebrate everything. You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm going to celebrate.
Oh, no, go ahead. I mean,
I
was going to say, and that's good, because when they grow up as women, they won't seek validation from someone else. They're already having it.
Exactly.
That I know that I'm enough. That I know that
exactly.
I don't need the validation from anybody else.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I named my daughter 7, because the 7 is the number of completion. I want her to feel complete. Like, I want you to feel complete here now. You know what I mean? Complete in your household, so that when you grow up and get married when you're 40, 45. But so when you grow up and get married, you know what I mean? Things like start dating and things like that, you know what to look for.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You have a good example of what a man should be and how you should be treated. You know what I mean? Know that you're a complete woman before you meet a man. You don't even meet the man to complete you. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
and now your daughters are your legacy. So what lessons about perseverance and vulnerability do you hope your kids learn from watching you after all that you've been through in your life?
I hope they learn strength, bro. I hope they learn strength, even when they go through trials or tribulations or any hard times or anything like that, they can just get through it because they saw me being strong through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want them to be so sensitive to the Spirit of God that they don't need validation from me. They don't need validation from... that's the other thing that I had to unlearn, you know what I mean, growing up. My kids don't need... Of course, it'd be good to have it, but in order for them to be who God wants them to be, they don't need validation from me. You know what I mean? All they need is God. All they need is validation from God. All they need is the okay from God, and they good. You know what I'm saying? It's my job as a parent to undergird the purpose that God put into their life. It's not my job to be the purpose on top of that or be a vision on top of their head. You know what I mean? It's my job to lead them to Christ. You know what I mean? To lead them to Christ. And as their parent, undergird what God has put into them. For example, if my kids so happen want to sing or be a musician, it's my job as a parent not to keep them away from that, but to go get them lessons, go get them the tools and instruments that they need, the softwares and the computer that they need to do those things that the Lord gifted them to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'll never punish my kid against the gift that God gave him to do. I'll never do that. If anything, the punishment is going to be what God gets you to do. You know, if you doing bad in school or something like that, all right, cool. You're going to do these skills at, 180 BPMs. And if you mess up, you're going to start over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on that keyboard and you do them skills. You know what I'm saying? That's what their punishment is going to be. I'll never take them away from that. You know what I mean? So to get back to answer your question, I really hope they learn strength, bro. I hope they learn how to survive with just God. You know what I mean? God and the purpose that they have for them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really do.
Absolutely. So let's pivot to your current state of health. What's been the hardest part, mentally about living with health uncertainty right now?
Back in April, I lost a good friend of mine. His name was Maurice Anderson. He was an elder at the church that I am right now. And he was a year older than me. And he didn't have the health issues that I have. He passed away. The hardest thing for me right now is not knowing if I'll wake up or not, not knowing if I'll get sick one day and go to the hospital and never make it home. I hope I'm answering your question correctly. Yeah, but go ahead.
Oh no, are you done answering the question? I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
When you learned your body was rejecting your new kidney, what was your emotional reaction?
I cried, bro. I didn't want to go back on dialysis. Dialysis is such not a waste of time, but it takes so much time away from life. Like, I work Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays I stay home because I have dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. And most of the time I don't see my kids, bro. Like, I want to come home and see my kids. Only free nights I have is Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week to see my kids. And most of the time they on their way to bed. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't want to get back into, time being away from my family or being away from the things I love or from work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was hard for me, bro. Like, sitting on a dialysis machine for 4.5 hours or 4 hours, three days a week was just
and what it does
not
to your body.
oh, bro, I don't know what happened.
No worries, we got you back.
Okay.
No, I was kind of ad-libbing while you was on.
I'll watch it. Can you ask that question again one more time?
Yeah. I'm sorry, wrong question. When you learned your body was rejecting your kidney, what was your emotional reaction? Because I remember a couple of times I took you.
You pick it.
Yeah, and I saw what it did to your body and how you just, you were out of it.
Bro, yeah, you used to pick me up from dialysis sometime. I remember, yeah.
Yep.
I still feel I'm older now. I used to be drained in, and I would, after a few hours of sleep, I'll be cool. I'll go to work and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bro, I need a day. I need a whole day. So that's why my boss allows me. Shout out to my boss, Lori Watkins, bro. She's amazing. She allows me to stay home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have a 4-day work week, so we work Monday through Thursday. But she allows me to stay home.
That's a
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, God is good. She allows me to stay home on Tuesday and Thursday because I go to dialysis at night. And I'm okay. I'm drained when I get off of dialysis. It's when I wake up the next day. and I feel like I've been hit by a truck, bro. It's harder because I'm older now. You know what I mean? It's draining, bro. Sometimes it's hard for me to take care of my kids. You know what I mean? Don't think about driving nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard on my body.
What does
Yeah.
your support system look like right now, and who helps carry the weight?
Bro, everybody.
That's a blessing, man.
Everybody. My support system is so strong, bro. My wife, my kids, of course. And my friends. I have good friends, Tyreek and Jabin Peebles. The few times that I got sick, I had to go to the hospital in the middle of the night, like 2 o'clock in the morning. We call them. They come to the house, be with the girls. Also, Seven's godparents. My friends Jiggy and Shannon, they show up. My good brother Claude Gardner, he's actually minister music at my church. Y'all check him out too. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Claude Gardner. Bro, these people show up, bro. Like, they'll drop anything to come and help and support me, bro. And it's amazing, bro. Even, when I come home, bro, y'all, I want to say this publicly too. Your family, Terrence, has been a blessing to me since I known y'all, bro. Miss Verdell, Mr. Paul, you know what I mean? Y'all, when I didn't have family to go to on the holidays, y'all were my family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gave me a job when I didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gave me a vehicle when I didn't have a vehicle, like,
My brother,
I appreciate y'all, bro.
Hey, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Brother, she takes in everything.
I appreciate y'all.
Baltimore City.
Right, she did. Right. And I appreciate y'all for real, bro. Pastor Chris was my man.
Yes.
He was like, he was amazing, bro. Pastor Kathy, I talk to you every once in a while. Still there, you know what I mean? Still a trusted voice in my life, bro. When I say a trusted voice, if she opens her mouth and say, God said, I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? Crystal and Brian,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to Crystal and Brian. Rehoboth International, my home church.
Yes, sir. We're hoping. Yeah, bro. Support now, bro, is amazing. My sister Jen, lives here with me now.
Mm-hmm.
She supports me. My sister Ty, you know what I mean? I have a great support system. I have a great support system.
Yeah,
bro.
it's important to have that support system. Which is going to segue into this next question. How have these experiences changed the way you look at men's mental health, knowing that you have a support system?
I didn't believe in therapy growing up because I was taught not to believe in therapy like that. You know what I mean? Like, mental health, being okay is so important. You know what I mean? Like, I've had, for example, I've had a time where I ain't talked to nobody, bro. I was just down. You know what I mean? And having a great support system, they know. You know what I mean? They can see it. They can feel it. And at my church now, like I said, my brother Claude, one time I was going through maybe 2 months or so. I ain't talked to nobody. I was coming to church late, leaving early. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to talk to nobody. You know what I mean? I wasn't answering the phone. I wasn't texting nobody. And he walked up to me and was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And we need those people in our lives. Just like, bro, I see something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's go eat. Let's get it together. You know what I mean? Because you got a family to take care of. You got ministry to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just one guy. There's one guy in my church. His name is Elder Corey. He walked up to me one day. He was like, hey, man, I just want to check on you because you don't seem yourself. I was just like, okay. You know what I mean? And like, some people walk around, bro, hurting, down, depressed, you know what I mean? And things like that. And they don't have people around them to try to help them acknowledge it or try to get them through it. You know what I mean? So they end up doing dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they end up drinking, smoking, killing, you know what I mean? Hurting people, you know what I mean? Or hurting people verbally or physically, you know what I mean? Just because they don't know how to handle their emotions. So I think it's important, bro, to take care of it, bro. Like, I would be hurting my family right now if I didn't take care of my emotions. You know what I mean? I started therapy. I had to stop because I had the surgery early this year, but I had started therapy early this year, bro, because I had some things that I needed to get over. I needed things I needed to talk out. You know what I mean? And I need an unbiased ear to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. Like mental health is very, very, very important, bro. You can't lead anybody if you're not okay mentally. And us as men, you know, or just children of Christ, bro, we're all leaders, bro. Like we are all called to disciple somebody. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't do that if you're not healthy mentally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That was awesome. What would you
Yeah,
say
bro.
to other men out there who are struggling to keep faith while dealing with pain or loss?
It's hard, brothers. It's hard to keep faith when you are down.
And you just being real.
Even Job, even Job, it was hard for him, which is why he shaved his head and he ripped his clothes. You know what I mean? Through a tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, bro. But I'll say this. God is the God of everything. He rules everything. He knows everything. He knows how it's going to happen. He knows when it's going to happen. You have to rest assured that in the end, everything happens for a reason. That sounds cliche. Everything happens for a reason. God didn't hurt you. You know what I mean? God didn't intentionally hurt you. God didn't, place things in your way, just for nothing. He did it for a reason. You know what I mean? Things happen for a reason. You, as a man of God or a man of faith, have to rest assured that in the end, it's going to work out for your good. And in the end, you know what I mean? God has something better for you. Even if it don't look like what you think it should look like, it was better for you. You know what I'm saying? I can speak for myself. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on dialysis, but I'm okay. I have a roof over my head. I have clothes on my back. I have food to eat. I have a family that supports me, and I have a family I support. So, you know what I mean? It's hard sometimes, but faith in God keeps me. You know what I mean? Faith in God keeps me. You know what I mean? Having a good support system, having good accountability, you know what I mean, keeps me as well. Because sometimes I don't want to pick up my Bible. I don't want to pray, you know what I mean? But I have somebody that shows up at the right time, in the right moment to say, hey, let's pray. Let's do this. Or let's go out to eat. Let's talk. You know what I mean? And it brings me out of the rut that I'm in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would just say, man, just keep the faith, man. Find accountability. Find accountability in your brother, in your family.
Yes.
Don't forsake the community, the church that God gave you. You know what I mean? That's why it's important. I have friends or people like, I don't need the church. You know what I mean? I just need God. You need community, bro. Find community. Find a good community to be a part of. Serve. Keep serving. You know what I mean? Keep singing. Keep playing. Keep ushering. Keep doing security. Keep doing parking lot ministry. Keep doing it. Keep serving in your church. You know what I mean? Serving with your community. You know what I mean? Because that's going to help. Yeah.
And as I'm glad that you said that, man, especially the accountability aspect, because we definitely can't do it alone. We definitely got to hold ourselves accountable. And we do have our support system. Hold your support system accountable as well, too, because they made that, they made that their process to help you through whatever you're going through. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we close or wrap up today, I want you to talk about what you have going on right now. I know later on today you have something going on as well too, but talk about what you have going on and any new music coming or just anything you have coming up that we can help support.
Right now, it's planning season. It's prepared. Like I'm just preparing right now. I have some things in my heart, a little late on my heart to do, and I can't say because I don't have like any dates or anything like that for it. But I am planning some things for the top of the year. So just, if you're listening, just be on the lookout for it. Just follow me on my social media. On Instagram at Jeff Roville. And Facebook is Jeffrey Smith Jr. If you follow me, I'll keep updates via social media. But I do have some things on my heart. I do want to do some recording next year. So if you want to sow a seed, you know what I mean? Because that stuff costs money. You can sow a seed. Yeah, just reach out to me. And I can let you know how to sow a seed. Later tonight, there's an organization called Love Heals, and they throw benefit concerts for people like in my situation, just to help with medical bills or anything to kind of take the stress off of everyday finances. So if you want to donate to that, you can go to my Facebook or Instagram, and you can find the link there to donate to that, or you can reach out to me and I can tell you how to donate to that. It's really just they're really just helping us out, just with a few things financially, just to take the stress off, because people don't know, like, medical bills are expensive. You know what I mean? And just co-pays and things like that is expensive. So like, just have to do those things all the time. What they're doing is really, really helping. So shout out to Love Hills, Courtney Green and Love Hills, for doing that for us tonight. Yeah.
Jeff, my brother, I appreciate you for sharing
Yeah.
your story and your heart. With
Yeah,
us
man.
today, what you've been through and how you continue to show your faith.
Yeah, man.
It's inspiring,
Thanks, man.
So
I appreciate you.
everyone listening, if this episode spoke to you, share it with a brother, a friend, or someone who needs to hear that they're not alone.
They're not alone.
Yeah. So this is the Pastor Mike Son, where real men have real conversations. I'm your host, Terrence Clark. And until next time, take care of your mind, your faith, and your peace. We'll talk to you later.
God bless y'all.
Jeff.